Andy Marquis here with Mike Darn, who has just won the Youth for Tomorrow 150 for the second consecutive year. Thoughts on the car today? It appeared you were hooked up.
Actually, we weren't as good as we were last year, but we had enough to win it. Like I said it a minute ago, I mean, my brother on the radio kept me calm as much as he could because the car was getting looser and looser and looser, and I'm just glad to be here. It's an awesome race. I appreciate everything they've done, the racetracks, the hard work they've done to do this for us, and to be better.
All right, and you've been running some of these other tracks, and you haven't had as good a fortune at some of them. Caraway a couple weeks ago, you had a good start. So to come back here to Old Dominion, does this give you confidence going into some of these other races again that you can still get the job done out at other tracks in a big race?
Yes, it definitely gives me confidence, but you know, Caraway is tough. All the guys down there are tough. Everybody's so much closer there that, I mean, you got to really hit it down there to win. So, and you do here too, but you know, I haven't been around this Caraway as much as I've been around here. So hopefully we'll figure it out and we'll start winning there.
What other tracks are you heading to?
I'm gonna run some Southpaws, so we'll try to go to Martinsville, and that's probably about it.
All right, congratulations.
Thanks.
Andy Marquis here with David POLENZ, who has finished second in the second running of the Youth for Tomorrow 150. Did you think you had a good enough car in the long runs to get DARNE?
Yeah, a little bit. We just didn't have enough to pass when we got right there. He was hugging that bottom really good, not blocking or nothing. I just couldn't get around him. He gave me tons of room. There's not really much I could have done to make the car better. It was just, I should have started about 10, 15 laps sooner. I would have rolled by him, pressured him a little bit, because I was going at that time. But at the end of the race, I started getting really loose and had no forward bite. So it felt good though. Yazoo machine was awesome.
All right, and there were a couple times where it appeared maybe you could have used a little chrome horn and gotten by.
I mean, you can do that. I mean, it's short track racing. It would have been cool, but it was early on. I couldn't get to him at the end of the race. He slipped up a couple times, but we were dead even in the last 5-10 laps, I would say. I mean, the caution hurt me.
All right, congratulations. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Andy.
Andy Marquis here with Doug Liberman, fresh off of a 4th place finish in the Youth for Tomorrow 150. Started in second, got around Andy Lally.
Right, that was good racing with Andy. Just good hard race, a little bit of contact here, a little bit there, squeezed him down a little bit. Got a good run out of the corner, and I was able to get by. So got out front for a while, ran out front for a while, and then DARNE got in behind me, and got it loose going into 1. Was trying to get into 1 too hard. Got a little loose. DARNE got by, and then DARNE to 33 and the 01 got by. And at that point, I just really started to ride. I tried to save the tires as much as I could at that point in the race, and really just make it to the 75 lap break, and see what we needed to do to make a change, to make it a little better. Made a little change at halfway. That brought it to life a little bit, and thought I had enough to pass Dustin, but he was bad at the same point of the track that I was bad, coming out of 2. Just both was real loose coming out of 2, and I couldn't get a run off of 2 because I was better in 3 and 4 than him, but I just couldn't get close enough to make anything happen. So good 4th place run, especially after a hard crash last week, so I'll take it.
All right, thanks. Andy Marquis from Race 22 here with Johnny Benson, former Truck Series champion. Being on these short tracks, you do this a lot. The super modified, anything you can race basically. What do you think of this track out here?
This track's tough, you know. I got a lot of great competitors here, and these cars are very different from what I used to. But I'm very hot today, so all in all, but we ended up 10th. We come for 2 laps down and made it back up, and you know, it was a decent night for us. Not what we wanted, but all in all, yeah, it's a lot of fun coming here to Old Dominion Speedway, and especially with the Joe Gibbs, you know, racing youth for tomorrow. So I mean, it was a pretty cool deal for us to be here.
Andy Marquis from Race 22 here with Ron Hornaday, driver in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series for Kevin and Delana Harvick, former champion in that series. What's it like to you to come back to these short tracks every now and then?
This is where we cut our teeth at. This gives these kids a chance to try to beat us, and they put a whooping on us tonight. So that just shows you that there's a lot of great talent out there, and it's pretty cool to come out here and race with these guys.
You've been running Truck Series basically since it started. and they started running on tracks like this, I-70 and tracks like that. How do these cars, in your opinion, drive and contrast to the trucks?
Well, I mean, you drive them the same way. I mean, you drive as hard as you can, and it's door to door and stuff. But the difference is we're on radial tires. These are biased. These are a little more forgiving than a truck would be on a track like this. But yeah, most of them tracks are going away, and you hate to see it because that's where that truck started from. And it's still a lot of fun to go short track racing. You know, we're going to ORP next week, and it's going to be the last race week. We're going to be there at the ORP. So it's a shame, but I just got to thank everybody here at Joe Gibbs. What a great cause, and all the fans coming out. A lot of fun.
All right. What are your expectations over on the truck side for the rest of the season?
Got to win races. Win races gives you points. That's what we got to do.
Because it's seemingly been a rough season. And tonight, how did the race tonight for you go?
This is as rough as I see these guys. I mean, I made some of them mad. They let me know about it, but it's a fun little racetrack. I mean, that's what it's all about. These guys race hard, and we know what we need next time.
All right, thanks. Andy Markey with Race 22 here with Andy Lally. Early on, you got the pole, and you led some laps early on. Is there anything you learned tonight that you could apply?
I learned who to race hard with and who not to race hard with tonight. But the good thing is I had a blast. These RBR guys had a real good car under me, and that was a lot of fun. We had a good strong car. The car was better than I was. You know, I'm still getting my whole learning curve sorted out on these short tracks and stuff, and with these late models and these tires and stuff like that. So it was a good time. I had a blast. I hope I can come back next year and get beaten on some doors again. That was fun.
All right, and this track is very slick. Are there any tracks that you've run on in road courses that you can kind of compare this to?
Actually, a lot of low grip ovals. You know, this is actually. The cool thing about this is it feels like you got 900 horsepower like in our Cup cars here, because you know, even though you've got about half of that, when you get the power here with the how much the asphalt's degraded over the years, it feels like you've got a ton of horsepower. So the guys here got to learn to drive smooth, and when they progress up to the higher horsepower cars, it's going to be good for them.
All right, congratulations. Andy Markey, Race 22 here with Curtis Markham, a former track champion. A lot of history with you and this track. How special is it to come back for races like this, and later the reunion?
It's always special to come back. Last year was my first year back in 20 years, and to see all the people that still come out here, the race fans, it's just great. And drivers, now we got a lot of different drivers. Most of them were either not born yet or real small when I was racing here. So it's good to see that there's a lot of good drivers still coming out of the Old Dominion Speedway area.
All right, and you're coming back here later this year for the Legends race.
No, I won't.
You will not?
I won't be able to make it back for that because of my real job, spotting for Denny Hamlin, Sprint Cup Series. So I'll be off doing that, so I won't make the Legends.
And this week was a week off there, obviously. Then, tell us about your night.
Well, they had to work really hard on the car doing practice. It just wasn't to my liking, but Robert Bruce and his guys worked hard on it. And I thought the car was pretty good. I was trying to just ride around and wait for the 75 lap break and make a few minor adjustments to it, but unfortunately Johnny Benson got loose right in front of me and I got into it, both wrecked.
And the heat today, this is one of the hottest days that I can remember in the DC area as a whole. How did that affect you throughout the day?
Definitely hot, but in my job being a spotter for Denny Hamlin, I have to stand up on the towers in the heat anyway all the time. So it was hot, but if you were just careful and kept plenty of water, it was fine.
All right, thanks. Andy Markey here from Race 22 with Max Papis here at Old Dominion, one night after what was definitely.
We're here with a race fan, and looks like that they really enjoy Old Dominion, like myself. Came over here, we had a great race. Unfortunately, we got spun out by the 12 car. I was coming back in the pit. I had a flat tire on lap 3, and it was really fun race anyway. came back, fixed the car. These guys did a great job with the 51 car. You know, it was just awesome. Raced really hard with Johnny Benson. So I tell you guys, whoever is out there, come to Old Dominion. It's an awesome racetrack. Great race fans, right? Go Old Dominion.
Were you 100% today? You had a scary crash yesterday in the Truck Series race.
Yeah, I was a little bit, you know, I couldn't really breathe properly yesterday night, but you know, woke up this morning, felt good, and jumped on the plane, came over here. I would have not missed this race for nothing in the world.
All right, thanks, man. Andy Markey from Race 22 here with Mike Skinner, signing autographs. One of the guys I grew up watching in the old Super Truck Series on television. What are these cars like compared to the trucks that you run semi-regularly?
Well, they're probably off about 400 horsepower, I would say, 350, 400 horsepower. The cars are lighter. They're on a bias-ply tire. The late model cars are so much fun to drive. It's Saturday night racing. It's the roots of racing. I mean, this is where everybody gets their start and they cut their teeth on tracks like this. So it's really, really cool to get to come back and run them every once in a while.
All right, and tell us about your night tonight.
Well, we had a rough day. You know, our car, we never could get it to run. It had a bad fuel pump on it, and so really all the practice that we got today was for nothing. They finally found out what was wrong, got the fuel pump fixed, and then when the race started, the chassis was off quite a bit. But we knew it was off. I just really tried to pedal the car and get what the car would give me, and I think that's about all we got.
All right, thanks.
All right.